thank God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now.
What's up guys and welcome to FPL Today. I'm the man in the know, JNO, and welcome to my series called Points and Performance, where we go over how I did in Game Week 11 and start to think what I'm going to do going into Game Week 12 to improve my FPL rank, and hopefully that will also help you improve your FPL rank as well. But before we get into this video, all of the stats on this channel are got from Fantasy Football Fix. Here is a quick video from them. Use artificial intelligence and Optastats to build your new squad for the new season. Analyse the highest owned players and most popular starting squad currently entered into the FPL. Upload your squad at fantasyfootballfix.com now to improve your FPL performance. Click the link below or head over to fantasyfootballfix.com to get started. Anyway guys, let's get on with the video and let's have a look at how I did in Game Week 11. As you can see, we had a good game week in what was a good game week for a lot of people, a high scoring game week, but fortunately for me, with my rank being what it was at around 2.4 million, a good game week for me saw a massive rise in rank of about 900k plus into the 1.5 million range, which feels a lot better than I did with 2.4 million as my rank. My game week rank was at 312,000, now on 569 points, and hopefully this is the turning point for my season, but I'm pretty sure I've said that before. Having a look at my side, we can see that there were some very big point scorers in that side. There were no auto subs, so all of these players I picked to come into the side. So I feel like I can take some credit for these. Soyuncu and Lundstram, 14 and 21 points apiece. Mane also with a last minute assist and goal to get 12 points. And Abraham also having a good performance with a goal and an assist. Vardy defying his underlying stats yet again to get a goal against Crystal Palace. So overall, a pretty good performance. There was only one player on my bench that could have come in that would have been an improvement on potentially one of my midfielders or Connolly. But overall, a very good performance by the boys and feeling a little bit more confident with my side. If we have a look at the bench, the only player I should have played was Rico. Bournemouth suddenly keeping clean sheets quite regularly, making me look a fool for saying most of pre-season and a lot of the start of this season that you shouldn't bring in a Bournemouth defender. But I did say with Rico, because he was so budget, I didn't mind. And Rico has been bringing in points and has some underlying stats to suggest he could have some attacking returns. The other two are Hudson-Odoi and Tomori. I didn't play Tomori because Chelsea don't keep clean sheets that often. And Hudson-Odoi, I just had a feeling he wouldn't start. He didn't, so the 1 point stays on the bench. So overall, happy with my selection. Would have liked to get Rico in there, though, for an even bigger rise in rank. But we live and we learn. Bournemouth suddenly can keep clean sheets. So before we look towards Game Week 12, let's just have a quick look at the key performers in my side. And John Lundstram has become an absolute FPL legend. Put him down in folklore. He has become one of the best value, if not the best value player in the game right now. So if you don't have him, I'd suggest you figure out a way to bring him in. He's still only 4.8. Yes, you're not getting him at the 4 million that a lot of us got him at, but still 4.8 million for a defender that is playing in midfield and looks like he can score goals is an absolute bargain. 21 points from 2 goals scored. 5 shots, all of them coming from within inside the box, so no long shots here. On target with 3 big chances, 3 scoring 2 of them. He could have had a hat-trick. Expected goals at 1.3, so he's outperforming his expected goals. Not much on the chance creation side for assists, but he has had that in other games. So I would definitely be considering bringing him in, especially if you've got a wild card. But if you're trying to look to save some money in your defence and you don't have him yet, which would be surprising because he's one of the most highly owned players in the game right now, make sure to bring this guy into your side if you don't have him. And then the other two I want to look at are Sadio Mane and Tammy Abraham. Now, I could have looked at Soyuncu, but he didn't really have much to talk about underlying stats-wise, and I don't think he'll be scoring goals very regularly. In fact, Johnny Evans looked a much bigger goal threat in the game, but he just didn't put any of the chances away that he had. Mane at 12 million, got me 12 points, the same as Tammy Abraham at 7.9 million, both with a goal apiece. Shots they had, 6 for Mane, 4 for Tammy Abraham, but both having the same amount of shots inside the box with 4 apiece. And can I just say, Jorginho's pass to Tammy Abraham, what a pass that was, and he looks like a completely different player under Lampard compared to what he looked like under Sarri playing Sarri ball. Shots on target, Mane had 3 with Tammy Abraham having 2. Big chances, 2 apiece. Abraham scoring one of his. Mane didn't score any of his big chances, but still returned a goal. Expected goals slightly higher for Mane at 0.9 compared to Abraham's 0.5, but both getting on the score sheet, which is what's most important. And then looking at chance creation, both creating an assist. 3 chances created for Mane, only 1 for Tammy Abraham. 2 of Mane's created chances were shots on target, 1 for Tammy Abraham, which means his only chance created was a shot on target, which got him that assist. Expected assist, 0.7 for Mane, 0.6 for Abraham, which suggests the 1 chance Abraham created was a very good chance. And expected FPL points, 12.2 for Mane, so he's pretty much matched what was expected of him in his game. 8.9 expected FPL points to Tammy Abraham, which means he's outperformed his expected FPL points by 3.1. But I'm just happy with both of them, and the side is starting to look decent. Only issue is a lot of my contemporaries have very similar players, so I need to start making some differential moves if I really want to hit the high ranking numbers. So we move on to Game Week 12, and the team I have lined up at the moment, and I know you'll be looking at that defence thinking there's a player missing there, and he may very well come back in. But right now we've got Pope against West Ham at home. Hopefully West Ham are the West Ham that turn up against Newcastle. Not for me personally, but in FPL wise that would be a good thing. Tomori coming in with Crystal Palace at home, just because I think Crystal Palace aren't that great in attacking threat. So hopefully there'll be a clean sheet there, although Tomori is one of the players I am considering transferring out. Lundstram against Tottenham away. Tottenham look a bit out of sorts. Kane might be injured. Son looks like he'll be suspended. So Lundstram can still get attacking returns. Will he get a clean sheet against Spurs? I don't think he will, but the way Sheffield United are playing right now, there's potential there. And I'm actually going to start Rico, which means he won't get a clean sheet against Newcastle away. Yes, they just scored 3 goals, but to be honest, I think West Ham were very, very poor in that game. And their front 3 don't look that clinical. They could have scored a lot more than 3 against West Ham. Then in midfield, we've got De Bruyne, Mane, Sterling, the usuals. Barnes is there. Barnes may now turn to another player. He was kind of a 1-week punt, because ideally I think Vardy and Soyuncu will be my Leicester City coverage. If you want to know who might come in for Barnes in Game Week 12, make sure to check out my preview video, which should hopefully be out around Thursday or Friday. And then up front, we've got Tammy Abraham, Connolly and Vardy. Connolly is pretty much guy there to save money. Will he play against Man United away? Man United don't look that great, so potentially there's points there. However, right now I am looking at some other Brighton players as options. Abraham currently with the captaincy armband against Crystal Palace at home. Jamie Vardy against Arsenal at home could be a contender for that. Just not sure I know which way the Liverpool-Man City game is going to go to be able to captain any of them. And it is a little bit worrying that 3 of my players starting are in that game, which is why the defender from Liverpool isn't. As you can see, Trent is the first sub in my subs bench against Man City at home. Hudson-Odoi taking up 2nd place. Soyuncu taking up the 3rd spot. I still believe the likes of Aubameyang and Lacazette, they can pinch a goal somewhere. Am I feeling like Leicester City could go and beat Arsenal in this one? Yes, I am. I just don't think there'll be a clean sheet for either side in that game. That's my prediction. And of course, Button is there on the bench because he's always there on the bench. And he might be one of my season keepers just because I don't want to spend any more than 4 million in that slot. So, like I said, right now I'm looking at potentially taking Tomori out of my side. With Lundstram and Rico doing really well at the moment, I'm not sure I need Tomori in the side, and I could downgrade him to a very cheap defender. It doesn't even necessarily need to be one that starts. Also, Barnes, I'm not 100% sure on which midfielder I want from Leicester City. I really like Tillmans, but I'm not sure he's going to be a great FPL player. I just think he's going to be a great player in general. But he does slowly tick over. Barnes is a player I've taken a punt on for 1 game week, but I had history with Barnes and it wasn't as good as I'd have liked it to have been. And then with Maddison, again, I just don't think he's explosive enough, so I'll probably venture away from Leicester City's midfield to somewhere a little bit more differential. Sterling is still a player I'm considering dropping for another Man City midfielder that's significantly cheaper, giving me more money to spend elsewhere. So those are kind of the positions that I'm considering making a change in. Hudson-Odoi on the bench is also someone I'm not too keen on right now because of the rotation risks. So Barnes and Hudson-Odoi would allow me to move to some similar players that I spoke about last week. They would include your Trossards, they would include your Jack Grealish, your McGinn. Potentially I could be making a move to one of them and hopefully that would pay off. Haven't really decided which one yet. But outside of the midfield and the defence with Tomori, I'm pretty happy with this side at the moment. I think Vardy and Abraham could be my strikers for the rest of the season, as long as the form continues. As far as Man United are concerned, because I know a lot of people went over to Martial because they looked a lot better in the first game Martial came back in, but against Bournemouth it didn't really work out that way. I'm just trying to avoid the sides I don't really trust right now, and those sides include Man United and Tottenham Hotspurs, which is why I don't have any coverage there. Anyway guys, hopefully that has helped you out with your FPL decisions, and I would love to know how you guys did in the comments down below in Game Week 11. If you want to support the channel in any way, the best ways to do so is hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and that like button, and just interact with me in the comments. I'm going to try and get better at getting back in the comments again. I know I've said that previous times, but I will try and commit to it. So leave a comment in the comments down below. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.